Hello and welcome to another VRTK tutorial video. In this video we're going to show how we can customize our pointer beam so when we activate the pointer beam it doesn't actually hit the interactable object colliders and end too soon. Please consider becoming a VRTK patron. There are plenty of membership levels to sign up at and it really helps to fund these videos. Thanks to all the existing patrons and those patrons who are at the relevant level for a video shout out. You'll see your name scroll up on the screen. Thanks for your support. So to understand our problem, what's happening is when our controller is inside the primary cube and we activate the teleport beam, that sends out a raycast, which will go through the primary cube okay, but then it's hitting the collider in the secondary cube, which is causing the raycast to end early and our teleport beam not to cast as we expect. The easiest way to fix this is just on our object, if we change the layer to ignore raycast, and then we can say yes, changing children. What that will do is it will mean this game object is no longer picked up by the raycast, so the pointer will pass right through it. However, that may not be what we want. We might want to be able to pick up this game object using raycasts in other instances. We might be using a raycast for our enemy to determine where this object is, or some other reason that we want to use raycasts to find this object. So we need to do something custom to allow us to still have our curved pointer ignore this cube. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this on a custom layer. So if we change this and change it to add layer, and then we can put in a custom layer here. So we'll just call this interactable. And then if we go back to our cube, we should be able to see in layer, we now have an interactable layer, which we will now select. And again, we can just click yes, change children. And now we can see this is on the interactable layer, but now what we need to do is get our pointer curved to ignore everything on the interactable layer as well. By default, it already ignores anything on the ignore raycast layer because it just uses a raycast. But what we need to do is create a custom raycast rule that we can say ignore the ignored raycast layer, but also ignore this new interactables layer. So we'll do that now. We'll start off by creating an empty game object to hold our physics cast component. And on this component, we're just going to add the physics cast component. And now we can see there's a few options in here. The only one that we need to worry about is layers to ignore. And we can see it's already set to ignore raycast. If we select here, we can see interactable as well. If we click that, we can now see it's set to ignore raycast and interactable, which is what we want. So now all we need to do is go back to our object pointer and use our pointer physics caster and put that into the raycast rules. And then it will use those raycast rules for our pointer, meaning it will ignore anything on the ignore raycast layer, but now anything also on the interactable layer. So let's jump into the scene and see that working. So now we're back in the scene. If I was to pick this up and activate the pointer, we can see the pointer is now completely ignoring the game object and it's going right through the interactable and allowing us to teleport as normal. And that's it. That's all there is to it. I hope this video has been useful to you. If it has, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel, leave any likes, dislikes, comments down below, and please consider becoming a VRTK patron. Thanks for watching and bye for now.